Hello, my name is Gabriel and I'm here to enlighten you with information I believe everybody should know. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about telepathy and telepathic messages. I believe us as humans, we have a psychic ability. Like, if you ever see with your family members and like your best friend, sometimes you guys could finish each other's sentences without you just knew what they were going to say before they even said it. I believe we have a psychic ability with the ability to telepathically send each other messages. It's just simple connection of two individuals or more, which is usually like your friends and family. If you see how every animal on this planet, how they work, the humans are the only ones that speak to communicate with each other. If you look at birds, they just work together and go migrate to the same destination in perfect form without even saying anything to each other. I believe these animals have natural instincts of telepathic communication with each other. Humans are the only ones that communicate through verbal communication, through speaking. There is this experiment once done on these islands, I believe underneath India, I believe. But they had these monkeys. I believe it was called the monkey experiment. But they had these monkeys, and they would drop potatoes into the sand. And these monkeys liked potatoes, so they clearly went to go get the potatoes, and they ate them. But they didn't like the sand. So as they kept dropping the potatoes, these monkeys learned that if they washed it off with water, they're more better to eat. And they went to the closest coastline next to this island, which was like, I believe 50 miles away, and they did the same experiment. But automatically these monkeys from the second experiment knew to instantly wash the potatoes. I believe every species has a certain grid of some sort that keeps their, I guess you could say, communication in lock with each other. Like every single species, with birds, humans, cattle. That's why they could all, I guess you could say, know what they're doing and wanting to do without actually saying it. They just migrate together. I guess humans are just the only ones that just aren't that aware of that yet. I have a practice little scenario that you guys could try with you and an individual at home to see if you could send each other telepathic messages. But you gotta know that it's practice. Practice makes perfect. At first it might not seem realistic, but you never know. Because I've done this before with many people and I've actually got it right. And they've gotten it right with me. I guess it's just practice. There is a sending and a receiving part in these telepathic messages. To send, what you do is you rub your hands together. And then you pretend there's an orb in front of you. Just a little orb. And usually whenever you're practicing, I like to use colors. Because if you use just whatever, it's kind of I don't know, it's just a little harder. But colors, it keeps it to a little subject. But you rub your hands together and you think of an orb. And say you're thinking of a color of red. You think of that color as clear as day. Clear as day. You can think of it in bubble letters with red. You could think of a red shirt, red socks, anything red. Everything red. Just make sure that that color is as visible as possible in your head. And once you believe it is clear, you put this message in that orb. And then whenever you believe you're ready, you think of the person you're going to send it to, and you just let it go. Just let it go. And receiving is the hardest, in my opinion, because you have to clear your mind, which is a very hard thing for people to do, especially if they don't meditate. But what I do whenever to receive the message, you close your eyes, and every in breath you say in your head, and every out breath you say out in your head. In, out, in, out, in, out, until your mind's clear. But to practice, just, I guess to say that the sender's gonna tell you, what do you think? And usually the message comes as a thought, feeling, or like taste or sense. So like as you clear your mind, I guess you could say, once they say, what do you think? It's usually the first thought that comes to your head. So say it's red, you just say it, and if it's right, then it's right, and you try again. But if it's wrong, then just keep trying until you get it right. It's a sense of practice. It's just practice, because it's not a very easy skill to do, but I believe it is possible. But receiving is the hardest, because many people, their mind thoughts go all over the place, and they, I guess you could say, lose track or whatever. But it's just practice, practice, practice. That's all I really wanted to say today. Hopefully you try this and maybe you find something very interesting. Thank you for watching, and much love.